Here for round 2, hopefully.
I never come in on a Sunday.
Yeah, you look like you're dressed in Sunday clothes.
I know, tank top. It's really hot today. Like,
very unprofessional.
I don't have to be professional. Matt's my friend. It's okay. We're unprofessionals today. We didn't do too bad. 261 horsepower and about 245 torque or so. And you know, considering it's like 1,000,000 degrees right now, that's actually pretty good.
Stock B20.
Yeah, stock B20 that he just grabbed out of an old car right now. So I think honestly that's pretty safe and conservative for keeping the engine alive until he gets his built motor done here in the near future. So not bad. I'm glad we got a new turbo and got back on it. Alright, so we did a bunch of Z stuff last week. Now it's time to do some more Honda stuff. Obviously we just dynoed Matt's car in the last clip, and you know, that came out pretty good, but it got me thinking about turboing Hondas again, so I figured, you know, Yari's got an Acura, that's a pretty good thing to turbo. And Hunch, do you guys remember Hunch from a while back? He's got the blue Acura RSX. We boosted it was on like a little eBay manifold and a Garrett T3. I believe it's making 350-ish horsepower. He was on, you know, K-Pro Hondata and some 1000cc injectors and just a pump in the tank. Anyway, he is now upgrading to this setup that's sitting next to me, which is a little bit bigger 61mm T4 turbo that I got him from another car, and he acquired this manifold just recently, so it's more of like a Sidewinder type manifold. And once we put that on, he's going to 2 wastegates, 2 44mm wastegates, and so he won't be needing that stuff that's on his car anymore. So this might turn out kind of fun, because we might be able to take the stuff that's on his car and recycle it and let you know, Hunch go on to bigger things and Yari get boosted for the first time ever. So this could get interesting. Anyway, check it out. Here's the stuff that's going on Hunch's car so far. This is just basically like an eBay like T4 61mm. It's not like gigantic or anything, but it'll definitely get the job done. If you guys remember Joseph's Rocket Bunny 240SX, this is the turbo that we had on it in the meantime when he was having other turbo problems, but this turbo really easily made 400 horsepower, around the 20-ish, you know, pounds of boost range. So it's actually pretty decent for, it was about $260 for this turbo. Now this manifold right here, this is probably like an $800 or $900 manifold. It's made by BWR. They are no longer in business, but manifold still looks like it's in great condition. It does come with a spot for 2 44mm wastegates, which are kind of big, but some unknown fact about the RSX is if you don't have enough wastegate, it's very, very easy for the amount of flow that comes out of that motor in the higher RPM, like 7,000 to 9,000 RPM, to start to actually overrun the boost level and kind of start to boost creep. Like the wastegate might be set with a spring at 10 pounds and it might creep like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I had one do that a while ago on the dyno, and it would come up and make like 400 or 500 torque, and then it would just keep climbing. I mean, we could barely get that car to not make 600 horsepower. So RSX, you know, K20 motors, they always make you feel like you're an amazing tuner because they just make gobs of power. So anyway, this is going to go on Hunch's car. I'll show you how his engine bay looks right now and the current like problems he's having with the eBay setup that he has in there. And then you guys can get an idea of the before and after. Okay, so you guys might remember this from before. There's a couple other videos if you guys go back and want to see like the basic build or like the stuff that we did originally with this one. but he has originally had like an eBay T3 that didn't make very much power, and then he went to this Garrett, kind of a ported Garrett with a 61 or 60 millimeter turbocharger, and you know, it was really still a basic setup. It's still on a log manifold back there. We did weld in a fitting on the stock fuel line, and we ran a pressure line off of it to, like, you know, up his fuel pressure. And you know, there's a few things I didn't like about the setup, like how this AC line was always kind of in the way. It would be nice to get a remade line and kind of move that. But his new manifold obviously comes over and we'll set the turbo in this area. So we'll be redoing all this stuff right here. And we'll have to see how that comes out. Alright, so I showed you the turbo manifold that Hunch is going to run on his RSX. This one right here. And in the mail we got his wastegates and some piping to build the wastegate dump tubes. So basically these little guys right here. Nothing special, just generic, like super cheap 44 millimeter wastegates. He didn't realize that he had to buy 2 of them. That was kind of expensive, so he decided to go the cheap route for now. I'll let you guys know if that ends up being a bad idea or if it ends up working out just fine. But for now, we're going to go with it, and I will keep an eye on the tune and make sure we don't have any like major issues. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the fitment there, it looks just exactly like a 44 from you know, the actual company that makes them would look like. So hopefully this will be pretty good. Basically yesterday I went ahead and I pulled the factory, well, I guess not factory, but the turbo manifold that he had in here before, which was just like a cheaper like log style eBay manifold. And I'll show you really quick. He had like a rebuilt Garrett 61 millimeter that was on the car before. If you can tell, this has been ported to like basically maximum size pretty much. And this is the little log manifold. With the, you know, just like a real cheap wastegate, but this one has been working super good for the last 2 years. No issues with the wastegate whatsoever. Some of his piping kind of needs to be redone because it's not fitting very well underneath the, like kind of where the fog light goes, like right here. In this little bumper area right here, he wants that to clear the piping, so we need one pipe to go over and one pipe to kind of slide under without hitting the back of this. So I'm going to try to help him fix that as well. You know, just kind of get him all sorted back out again. You'll notice the Z is back. Stuff is going to happen to that here in the very, very near future. He ordered $2,000 worth of more stuff. I'll have to tell you guys about that soon. That's going to be a crazy lot of work. So, all right, I figured I'd give Yari a chance to drive this Turbo Z. We are taking a look at a few things on it really quick, and it's kind of fun to drive, so I might as well let him try.
It goes chasing a beat. What you do? Don't let go. Chasing a beat. What you do? Don't let go. Chasing a beat.
Okay, we're back at the shop. I got that test drive out of the way. Everything seems to be good on the Z. And now it's time to go weld up some stuff for the RSX. And let's do that right now. Okay, so I've been welding like crazy on Hunch's RSX project. He bought this turbo manifold from BWR, and I believe it's made for a Civic that has a K20 in it to be turbo, like Sidewinder style. So I think I showed you guys the manifold in another clip, but like nothing fits in the car. Like if you get the wrong manifold, you're just kind of like, you're in so much trouble. But I moved water lines, and I moved harness, and I moved so much stuff out of the way just to get the manifold in there. And now I had to do like a bunch of welding and fabrication, because like I couldn't even figure out how to get a pipe down from the manifold and out without hitting either the steering rack or, I don't know, just a bunch of stuff that's back there. But this was my solution. Check this out real quick. This is seriously like so much work and so hard to do, but you know, Hunch kind of deserves it. As you can see here, we basically, this is the turbo would go in here. This is just the housing and the manifold itself. And I pulled it off the car and kind of decided, based on where the wastegates went, like how the exhaust should go. And I believe it can go down under the car, which would be like up technically. But anyway, this is kind of a challenging fitment because I had to run this wastegate into here, and I had to run this wastegate into here. And maybe it doesn't look super hard to do to some of you guys, but like all this bending and being super accurate is so hard. So anyways, I hope Hunch paints me a beautiful car one day for all my awesome work. But I'm not really worried about it, because if you guys seen the guy's paint job on freaking Panda's car, it was amazing, and he always helps us out, so it's worth going the extra mile and taking this like super to the next level. I can't believe we're gonna be able to fit 244s in there. This is absolutely crazy. So alright guys, so I'm at home and I'm done editing this video, and I welded like all day, so I'm exhausted. But before I go for the week, I thought I would mention a few things. So anybody out there watching for the RSX type stuff, Yari's car is getting turboed right after we finish Hunch's car, and I think I totally figured out how to just like simplify and nail down like a fuel return system in a way that allows you to have like control of your fuel pressure and rise rate with boost, and keep it like really budget friendly. So we are gonna do like a video on basically like my simplified plan to do a fuel system in like a newer Honda or RSX, or basically almost any returnless type car. Even the Z's can probably do this exact same thing. I'll have to do a video on that as well. And what else do we have in the pipeline? I don't really know. The stuff that's coming for the Z, the black one, I've never done anything. I've done this thing before that he's gonna have me do, but I've never done one like this before for this specific reason. So that should be interesting. It may be very challenging. I've really never done one. It's basically a road race style cage, but it just has a ton more bars than I'm used to seeing like in a drag cage. So we'll see how that goes. I have to take his whole interior out. This is gonna get interesting. Anyway, so that's coming in, I don't know, a week or so. I'm trying to think what else we got. I don't know. But for some reason you guys still seem to be here and seem to be tuned in and watching. So I'll just keep making videos, because lucky for you, I guess, I just like making videos for absolutely no reason. Mostly just because my friends and you guys keep watching. So yeah, anyway, it's, I guess it's just like fun to say hi to everybody every week and you guys can see what we're doing. So, alright, we'll catch you guys in the next one.